Okay, welcome back to Entropy Outdoors. Just doing a little bit of maintenance on the bike today. We got back from a good weekend of riding with some friends, and of course on the dash, it's not on there right now, but what comes up is maintenance required. So much like any ride where you get muddy, it got a good cleaning, although you can tell it's not perfect. And then greased. So on this bike, there's 16 grease nipples. I'm going to show you where those are. And then in part two to this, I'll show you roughly what you need to do to service this. So this is a V-twin. So it takes engine oil. I'll go to the other side here. It takes engine oil, and it also takes gearbox oil when you do the service on it. So the front diff is its own oil. The engine oil is its own oil. The gearbox and the rear diff take the same gear oil. Okay? So like I said, on this, there's 16 different grease nipples. I'll show you where they are right now. So, in the back end, right here, we've got one, number two on the other side. So there's two. Then we come around to the side here, and we have three. And then if we come up underneath the suspension here, right there, that's four. The other side has the exact same thing, so that's 5 and 6. So the rear end has 6 grease fittings to start off with. Then we come underneath. The rear drive shaft has 2 fittings, so that's 8 at this point. And to get at these grease fittings, you need to roll the ATV so the grease fittings point down. Okay? So right about... Oh, where are they? I think I rolled it back a couple times when I was doing some work. Right. It's going to go back further. Right there. Right there, you can see it. So they basically point straight down, so it's center of screen. You can see the grease fitting right there in the back U-joint. There's another one at the front of the rear axle right here. So that's 7 and 8. And then we come around to the front. And on the front, there are 4 on each side. So the front has 8 in total. So each side has 1 on the lower arm and the upper arm. That's the very front. And then on the back, to get at them, yeah, you gotta wiggle. It's got a fitting on that side and on this side, as well as up in here. Now these ones you have to access from down below, and you basically have to access the left hand side by using your grease gun on the right hand side. So you grease these 2 back front ones by reaching through the frame to the left side. You can grease that lower front one and the upper front one. Okay, and this is a good time to take a look for any damage while you're under there. Take a look at your rad. Obviously make sure your rad's nice and clean. Give your bike a once over. Make sure there's no other fluids leaking. On the weekend, I gave this a little bump here, I can tell. I'm going to give a couple spots like that a hit with just a bit of rust check, because I'm like that. And give her a once over. I can see on the back wheel there we've lost a couple balancing weights. You don't notice it though, so I'm kind of okay with that. So there's 16 fittings in total. If I'm wrong, please let me know. There's 6 in the rear end, 2 on the drive shaft, 4 in the front. And by my math, that gives you 16. Okay, and then of course when you're doing the engine oil, gearbox, rear diff, front diff, it's a good time to obviously service your air filter. Wash it out, let it dry, and spray it with oil, work it through, pat it out. So if I'm missing anything, please leave a comment. I don't think I am. You see, in the second part of this video, I'm going to do the front diff, rear diff, gearbox, and engine oil. This is the front diff fill. The front diff drain is down here. It's a lot smaller. The gearbox, it's got plastic plugs. This bike is a bit of a pain to do. The engine oil and gearbox on. You gotta take off your second passenger seat. This seat, this all comes out. This comes out. And then you've got to undo your whole footwell. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bolts to undo, and then there's a bunch of body bolts and body clips and body fittings to undo. And then of course you got to get the entire plastics to separate, and that's a bit of a pain, but it's absolutely doable. And then for the rear, in the next video, I hope to show you. If I don't make it, you'll see it now. Rear drain for the diff is here, and the fill is right there. All right, so we'll see how this goes. Before you do your service, it really pays to get them very clean. A lot of crap gets built up in between the plastics, making it difficult to pull off. Anyways, happy riding. Look after your stuff, it'll look after you. Stay safe.